Alright everybody, welcome back to another Dirty 20 D&D adventure. I am your host, Theo Butler, or should I say Dungeon Master, not host. I have with me today, joining from left to right, I know you guys can't see us, but starting left to right we have Allis Brightwood being played by
Alicia.
We have Kalsifer, who is being played by
Jonathan.
Horgarn, being played by
The Dashing Jason.
The Dashing Jason, yes. And we have Hesken, the Gladiator King, being played by yours truly,
Jacob.
And we have with us tonight a very special guest.
Not Kaiser.
Not Kaiser. Or Henka, or Victor, or whoever.
Yeah, whoever.
But we have Balrog, the Ruthless, who is being played by
Tim,
thank you. Anyways, welcome back
challenger has appeared
to another adventure. So, to give you guys just a brief recap, our heroes did level up to level 5, so a lot of good stuff in store now to keep in mind. But our heroes, specifically in this case, Horgarn was fighting a battle to the death of Chu'Ka. Chu'Ka, is that how you pronounce it?
Chupacabra.
Chu'Ka.
No, it's
Just
Chu'Ka.
Chu'Ka, thank you, Chu'Ka. I'm thinking chakra or something. Chu'Ka. In which Horgarn was successful in defeating the War Chief. The heroes were freed by a elf, or at the point in time they were freed by an Orc Ranger, who later revealed to be an elf, a changeling essentially. And they had decided after beating the War Chief that they were going to figure out what their next plan of attack was, in which they decided they were going to head to the southern continent to find Horgarn's dad. One thing I should mention is, I'm blanking on your auntie's name right now.
Jesuk.
Jinsuk.
Jesuk.
Thank
Or
you.
Jocasta.
Or Jocasta Nu, as she is also known by. She did steal the soul of the War Chief, if you guys remember last time.
Yep.
And with that being said on the recap, we're going to go ahead and jump straight away into our session.
Why couldn't she done that? Just like why I had to defeat him and then she just steal his soul?
You'll never know unless you find her and talk to her.
Didn't we
probably
find something where we were gonna find Torin?
No, we decided not to, remember, because we talked to our weapons, and they told us all the information that we needed to about the secret cave. We were going to go there because we wanted to learn more about it, right? I thought.
Yeah, there was the option that you guys could have taken in which you could have gone to this vault, because you guys had found I believe you guys found a journal piece, or you had found something essentially related to the vault, in which you guys could have gone to the vault of the Grim Reaper, or you guys could have gone to the southern continent.
I thought there was some sort of mention of like Torin, and we were gonna
Correct. Yeah.
see if we were gonna go find him.
I believe that the sentient weapons talked about Torin and who he was, and how he was kind of one of those random party members that randomly met up with them and joined up.
But I thought we decided to go ahead and go to the southern southern continent first.
I believe
We
so.
did.
Okay.
Keep in mind that Henka Saru said that she would look for Torin and for Pilar.
Oh, she did? Okay.
That is right.
And she did say that she would take care of that for you guys while you guys went to the southern continent. So, with that being said, as you guys wake up the next morning in the Orc war camp, you do meet the elderly Grey Orc, or an elderly Grey Orc, who had been watching the fight before, and he was also there in the planning room with you guys, the war room. He says to each of you, "Good morning. I trust that you slept well."
Slept good, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Long rest, definitely.
Yes, long rest, by the way. Make sure you guys have your long rest.
Not bad.
It occurred to me as you were talking that you were looking for a ship. We happen to have, as he points to an orc right next to him. Go ahead and describe your character for us, Tim.
I didn't think I was going to be put on the spot that quick. My name is Balrog the Ruthless.
And?
Go ahead and describe.
What do you look like, Balrog?
Go ahead and describe some of your features to the character. What does your character look like? How tall is your character? Is he fat, short? Describe a little bit.
He's about 6'2", 280 pounds. A little bit small for his size. 25 years old. He's a pirate. He's been on the seas ever since he was a young lad, and that's all he knows is the sea. And yeah.
Okay. So the older orc says, "This is Balrog, and he is a sailor. We have a fleet near the ocean that we were planning to attack the city of Karn. You can use one of his. Well, you can ride with his captain to get towards the southern continent if you would like."
Sounds good. What say you, my humble followers?
Humble followers?
Now that I am
Who made you?
Orc Chief and the ruler of Karn, my loyal subjects.
I believe Hesken was king first, Horgarn.
Yeah.
So I guess we're just each other's subjects.
And Alicia is the daughter of a queen. I'm literally the only one that doesn't have some form of royalty right now, which I don't want, so please don't make me a king. Please, Theo.
I don't know, is Alicia, is that still, I think that's still unconfirmed, right?
No, she's
Completely confirmed.
her name was in the genealogy books.
That old elf gave me. He gave me
Allis.
Allis gave me the.
I don't think your name was in it, though.
Yeah, it was.
Nope.
No.
Her
So
name.
when we researched in the library, I couldn't find my name. Then an old elf from the Elven Kingdom gave me like a scroll that was a family tree, and I was on the family tree as the queen's daughter.
See? So much for you paying attention.
I don't see it here. I'm not the as the official scribes for my loyal subjects. Anyways.
Let's time to one of those X's.
So he said, the old orc does say to you, it is down further towards an old abandoned town, destroyed town, I should say, that we destroyed previously. You may have to pass through some of the carnage, but at least you'll have several of the ships there.
At least that carnage isn't in Karn.
Erebos is not pleased with that cheesy joke.
I don't know. I think Erebos would be chuckling to himself.
That's it. He's not allowed on my ship.
The orc does say to you, "I do have something for you that should be of interest." And he walks over to Horgarn and he hands you a scroll.
I take the scroll.
And he says, "This is a one-way gate opening that will allow you to transport yourself and your companions anywhere that you choose to think of."
Give you a quick teleport back from the southern continent.
Especially in an emergency.
Yeah.
Something goes wrong.
Town portal!
Stay a while and listen.
Bonus points if you know that reference.
Good old Deckard King. He says, "Other than that, there's not much in the ways of magical items per se, but we have enough food and supplies and spoils from our conquest to last us until this great war that you promised comes."
I'm sure this great war will come, whether we want it to or not.
Several of the tribes, or there are a few anyways, that have decided to break away and head back to their homes.
That's fine. It was probably those black orcs, weren't they?
Some of them were black
the
orcs.
Infernal orcs.
Yeah, so black orcs were the ones that led, but much of the gray orcs are also leaving.
Are they
They're the
orcs or?
They are the mage/shaman.
Yeah, necromancer.
That's good. I didn't know you were so knowledgeable.
Yeah.
Somebody pays attention.
That's all I was about to say.
With that being said, I will now let you guys decide as to if you would like to either take the ship or if you head back to the city of Karn. This is also, I will open this up to some open roleplay if you want to ask more about Balrog or anything else if you want to do some last minute stuff.
How tall is Balrog again?
6'2".
6'2". Oh, so you're almost my height. So I almost look him in the eyes and I do arm clasp with him.
Clasp.
So, well.
So the two of you clasp arms in an embrace of
welcome
friendship.
Any friend of the old orc is a dinner of mine. Friend of mine.
Sorry, old saying.
Did you say dinner of mine?
Old saying. Potato.
I ask him, what's your ship called? What's your ship name?
Misery.
It's called Barco.
Barco. That's an interesting name. Is there a story behind it?
It's Spanish for ship.
Spanish, what's
You
that?
mean it's Orcish for ship?
Spornglish for ship.
Sportlish.
From the old world.
Oh,
Or new world, whatever floats your boat.
punny.
I go into Ducastanu's chambers
Okay.
to see if I can search for anything.
Go ahead and roll investigation.
I continue to talk to Balrog and make nice with him and his
Conversations.
crew.
I like this guy. What's his name?
Hesken.
Hesken, capital H.
Yes.
Hesken with the capital A.
So I'm sure it'll be like it's above 20.
Oh, okay.
Like,
It's above 20.
it's above like 20 unless you really want me to look.
So you can see that the chambers are very neatly kept. As you look around, you don't see anything magical, but you do see that there are several parchments that have been written on. It looks like as if she was working on a letter before you guys ended up coming, basically.
I read the letter.
Yeah. So the letter. Give me a second here. I need to.
Invent it.
I need to pull up a name. Let me.
We should come up with the acronym. Just be like, as I search, I investigate, and I do Arcana, and I do this. I just an acronym. Just be like, perception, investigate, Arcana, PIA,
This looks like it's gonna be fun.
survival, PIs.
Yeah.
Just to make sure there's no traps around as well. I perform PIs.
Do that all in one roll.
Hey, let's see.
So the letter reads Vinvir.
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 3
VR. The plans have changed. The Orc Chief is dead, and my pesky nephew and his band of hero, in quotes, hero misfits have dethroned the War Chief. The orcs will be of no use to us. Gather your dark elves as well as your allies, the dark dwarves, and make way towards the vault of the Grim Reaper. Continue the task as planned while I head to the southern continent to perform the ritual needed to open the gate. Make haste, and may the devil lords be with you. And that's the gist. That's the end of the letter. Looks like she basically left as after she took the soul of the war chief. It looks like she may not have returned. That's the only thing you find in there.
And the only thing I find that's of noteworthy.
Right. Yeah. Everything else, like she has her bed. Her bed is made. She has a crude desk. That the parchment's on, paper, quill and ink. A small chest at the end of the bed, but it looks like it's empty. So, that's the only thing you really see as far as that's really worth anything is the notes.
Okay.
You can take the parchment if you would like.
No, yeah, I will take the notes and stash them in my bag.
Okay.
And I'll go into the War Chief's chamber.
Is there anybody with him, or is he just off on his own?
He, as far as I know, he went off on his own. Other people can join him if you guys would like.
Yeah, nobody said they were going to follow him, so...
Horgarn does a lot of that.
Yes,
Just
it's okay.
leaves the party.
He's like the looter of the group.
Yeah.
He's a hoarder.
What can I steal?
Yeah. Honestly,
I'm the
like,
thief of the party, and I don't even do that.
yeah.
He takes over a town, starts looting his own stuff.
So you go into the war chief's.
And I perform PIs.
Yeah, go ahead and roll investigation.
The I in PIs. Huh. It's a lot worse. It's 7.
7. Yeah, you
There's
don't.
just junk everywhere. this old Orc Chief is just trashy.
Yeah, it's messy. You do see that there is.
His car is trashy as well.
Should have stayed with the group.
You do see that there is like these giant shoulder pieces made out of bone and tusk, but it looks like it might be too big for you to wear.
Does it look like Hesken?
You're probably not. You're not too sure because it's not like you measure Hesken. I mean, it looks big, so it might fit him. But I mean, to compare to you, because the war chief was definitely much larger in stature than you were by far. So, I mean, you can try to take it with you and see if it fits, but it's pretty big.
Yeah, nothing else.
Yeah, everything else it's just it's a mess everywhere. You know.
Orc Chief. I swipe the armor and I drag it with me.
Okay, go ahead and roll me a strength check for that because it's pretty big.
And that'll be a 20.
Yeah. You managed to pick it up easily. For those of you that are, as you see Horgarn coming back into the room, you can see he's carrying this giant kind of bone and tusk looking shoulder pieces.
Horgarn, how the heck are you going to wear those? Those things are bigger than you.
Yeah, it probably is.
So this is what the shoulder piece looks like.
Ooh.
So that's what it looks like.
What's that character's name?
So this is Garrosh Hellscream from World of Warcraft. Yeah. So that's what his shoulder pieces look like.
That's pretty
Okay.
cool.
Pretty intense.
Pretty bad.
It's too big for me, but me thinking about my subject here, King Hesken, thought this would.
Alright, you're gonna have to stop calling me that.
This thing's going to pick you up by your head.
You are in my realm now.
It's
I am drunk with power as I loot my own camp. This is for you, Hesken. Merry Christmas.
Oh.
Or Happy Draconica.
I take them. I don't really want to use them because I have plate armor already, so I look to
Maybe
Balrog. Say, Balrog, it looks like your shoulders are a little bare. Do you want some?
Oh, well, thank you for the gift. Large.
Thank you, Horgarn. I appreciate it. But I already have
You will travel on the ship.
Royal.
Challenge.
armor already, and this
Maybe
bone.
Maybe it's
Well-
an add-on.
What kind of bone is it?
Like a crown.
It looks to be. I mean, you would know because you're from the Orcish tribes. You would know it to be basically a demon skull, like headpiece on the left, and on the right it looks like it might be a horn of the demon.
Oh, okay. Thank you. It's very fashionable. I'll use it on my quest.
Would you like to equip it?
Yes, please.
Okay. So this is a custom item, so you'll have to add that in customly to the D&D Beyond. We can do that later. But basically, the item, what it does is it gives you a +1 to your strength. So whenever you want to do something with strength, it gives you +1 to strength. But it also adds a +1 to intimidation factor. So when you want to intimidate someone, when you want to scare someone,
Now I really like it.
it will give you like a +1 to the intimidation as
Got
well. And the only thing that the orcs know it as is the best way to describe it, as far as the way they know it, is the demon's head.
Dang, I should have worn it. I'm this little tiny human guy with freaking giant
Alicia, you
shoulders.
need more strength and armor. Can you imagine Alicia with those?
So we'll add that
Awesome.
in later for a custom made. Just know that you get a +1 to intimidation and +1 to strength.
Thank you.
Alicia has a +1 intimidation to every rat that she's going to dip into acid.
One time I did that.
Oh
Is,
man!
This is what I imagine if Alish put on the armor. It just looked like this.
What is it?
Little
Describe
kitty
it to the
cat in
audience.
chainmail.
You can go to Google and search level 1 Khajiit. It's basically a little chainmail on a kitty.
Nice.
For one cat.
Thundercat.
With that being said, that's all that you find. That's all that you find within the chamber. Is there anything else you guys would like to do while you are here in the Orc camp?
Before we go, I think we should talk to my mom.
What happened to our scouts? Did we already send them back?
They're gone.
Okay.
Like the
As soon as we land.
scouts left.
They dipped.
Henka is gone.
Okay.
They are
Do we
not.
know where Henka went?
Yeah, she went to go look for Torin and
That's right.
to go.
Okay, that's right.
And Pilar.
Yeah, if you don't, for the audience, Torin's in the one shot that you can find on our Facebook page. All about him later on. So
It's really good. Well written by Jason.
yes. Ha ha! So yeah, check out the Facebook page if you want to read up on that one shot. It's a good side story that does connect to our main story.
Says Jason the lineage breaker.
Ah! I approve this message.
So your mother does eventually walk in after having woken up from being pretty exhausted. She doesn't look as tired as before,
Still needs like a couple
but
of
she
days more
she
rest.
definitely looks like she could use at least another day or two worth of at least another day's worth of rest. But she walks up and she gives you a big hug.
I'm
And,
back.
yeah, and she says, and you can feel that she's a bit wobbly as you kind of hold on to her. And she says to you, "Will you be leaving so soon?"
Yes, we have to find Father, and there's a great other things going on that we don't know that are happening and such. Speaking of which, everyone, this is what I found in Jesuk's chamber, and I show them the parchment. I read the parchment.
And you guys read that essentially it just says that the schedule needs to be, basically in a nutshell, the schedule needs to be moved up because you guys have shown up, and that
I can read the parchment.
if you would
I
like
wrote
to,
it.
if you would like to go ahead and read it, please.
Here's the sum of it. Venvir. Where's it? Venvir. Venvir.
Finvir.
Vinvir. Vinbir.
Vinvir, the plans have changed. The War Chief is dead, and my nephew and his friends have become a problem. Gather the Dark Elves and Dark Dwarves at the Grim Reaper Vault. I will travel to the southern continent to perform the ritual to open it. P.S. You suck. No, that doesn't say that. But, yeah, so I tell everybody about that.
So should we go to the vault now? Or
I think we should still go to the southern continent because if his aunt's planning to do a ritual to open it, we have to stop her from doing that. Like, yes, there's stuff going on in the vault, but I think the ritual to open it would probably be.
Plus, my dad's there. I think the other legendary weapon is there as well.
I think so.
it's my continent.
Correcto, Rancho Cucamongo.
Well,
Does anybody else want to call it the Southern Isles from Frozen? Because I'm having a really hard time not calling it the Southern Isles.
If
Sure.
you want to call it, you can name it. You can
Call it the
nickname it
Southern
whatever you
Isles.
want.
I don't think it's they're not isles though. It's a continent, right?
It is a
Isles
it is
are
a
southern.
continent. It is a continent.
The Southern Lands.
Sorry, English.
You can call it this. Yeah, you can call it Southlands.
Southland.
So
Call
that's
it what thou mayest.
so that is what we
The nickname
South.
that it is given is the
South
Badlands.
the Badlands.
Yeah.
the Badlands.
Yep.
So
Well-
that's what our plan is.
we have an option if you guys want to, or we can just stay together.
No.
We could
No.
split up.
No. I was like, don't you dare say split the party.
What is this, Scooby-Doo?
Scooby Doo.
Hey, they always solve the mystery when they split up.
Like Zoink Scoops. So,
Roll.
what would you guys like to do?
Let's jump on a ship and go talk to some storm giants.
I'm on a boat. Hey, Pilar.
Pilar!
I did not know you. I didn't know you.
I didn't know you were
It's-
coming, Blar!
It is good to have you come.
Henka found you.
What,
He's finally been released from Khazar's sexual grasp.
Don't knock it
until you tried it.
Oh my god.
He comes back as level 6. No,
I
it's
like where this is going.
level 5, so go ahead and update your character to level 5. I will do something with you.
You
Quite
can work it
interesting.
later.
Yeah. So level
Did you
5.
pause it, Jake?
No, I just left the cat.
That's fine.
It'll all be edited
Yeah,
out.
we'll edit it out.
You're gonna edit me out?
No, leave the part in about the sexual
So-
sass part.
Just like a random blip
just
there.
for
The bloopers.
With that being said, you guys do gather up whatever supplies that you do find. You are wearing the demon's head
Thank you.
with the horn.
Yes.
I take it you will keep running things around here, Mom?
If you decree it, I will do so.
Yeah.
Did he call her mom?
He's talking to his mom, but I totally forgot that too, so I was just like, what?
Correct. His mother is there.
Get in the game!
Sorry, mom.
Your son has to decree you to do something?
Yeah, I was kind of taking it back.
The orc tribes tend to follow the strongest.
How do you like my new title, the Lineage Breaker?
She kind of smiles and she says, "It's funny. It's strong. It's a suiting name for someone who has slain a war chief."
Yeah,
She says,
will we be able okay, go ahead.
"No, she says, I feel that with the help of the several shamans that are here, we will be able to keep the war camp in check for you until your return.
Okay.
Especially if with the city of Karn we start to integrate them a little bit more into a society standard, perhaps they can be a little bit more kinder."
Civilized, cultured, kinda. The 3 C's. Maybe 1 K in there somewhere.
So with that, but she does tell you though that she will keep an eye on the camp for you.
Alright. And Karn, or?
And Karn as well, yes.
Okay. Just let them know that we're all buddy buddies.
Correct. And you still keep in mind as well that you still have the Ronin, the shifter werewolf. He is in the city of Karn currently, helping to keep the peace as well.
Okay.
You could always just leave a clone of yourself.
Yeah, but maybe I'll be
The necklace, he has to be within range of the necklace.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just scribble letters real quick, legible.
Yeah.
Just basically.
Write a performance check.
Do a performance check on this.
Yeah, you said you're writing. You're writing the letter
To Ronin and
Yep.
the Captain Guard to say basically everything's all good.
with advantage because your mom will probably pass the message on in her own letter. But
Mommy, get up.
Natural
20!
nice. Give yourself an inspiration, and you perfectly write this letter so beautifully that your mother is proud that all of that schooling paid off.
It's like cursive mixed in with that ye olde English
Yeah.
artwork. It's like, dude, it's so fast.
Yeah, it was so fast, so it's so beautiful, and it's so legible, and tears sheds from her eye.
English, is that a tear, I see?
Not from
Not
my
from-
eye,
It is,
from
it is
mom's
very,
eye.
it is very majestic, I know.
Oh, jeez, whatever.
It even makes the elves get jealous.
No, don't
Yes.
go there. Don't go
I'm just
there.
kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Alright, sounds good.
So yeah, and you'll stamp the letter or sign the letter, whatever you would like to do with that. And then I'm assuming you're going to hand it to most likely your mom.
Yeah.
Okay. And she takes the letter, rolls it up, and she says, "I will make sure to deliver it to the city of Karn."
Alright, sounds good.
With that being said, is there anything else you guys would like to do before you leave? Okay. With that silence, you guys start to make your way down. You have something, Alish?
Who speaks giant?
I do.
This guy.
Okay, just wanted to check to make sure somebody here spoke
I speak giant.
How do you speak giant?
How do I speak giant?
Like this.
It just...
Fi, fo, fum.
This
Yeah.
is coming really deep, but we can't understand it.
Sorry, newbie here.
No,
Alright,
you're totally
continue.
fine.
Carry on.
It just, as far as the way it goes, everything obviously will be in English because we only ever speak English in the real world.
Whoa.
Except for
speak
those
Spanish.
that speak multiple languages.
They could
Let me
talk to
rephrase
each
that.
other.
I only speak English, so it'll only ever be in English because I don't speak any other language. But in this world, there will be some here and there pieces of the language.
Sorry for messing up.
No, you're fine.
Ask any
You're a new
question
player. You can ask
at any
ask
time.
away. It's better to ask questions than not ask questions.
Yeah.
So you guys make your way down, and instead of heading towards the city of Karn, which would be, I believe we said it was going to be eastward, you kind of make your way a little bit more, kind of northeast. So you follow a little bit more along towards this. Eventually, as you get to half of it looks to be burned down. The rest of it looks to be sacked and pillaged. There's a lot of dead bodies left around. Crows picking at the flesh.
Dinner. Or if you're a vegetarian, I guess not.
What is your fascination with eating people?
I'm a real orc.
Back on the menu, boys.
If you think about it, the plants are getting...
So as you guys eventually make your way, you can smell the stench of death and bodies being picked. There are what looks to be a couple of humans.
You can smell the bodies being picked?
not picked, but you can smell the death of the body as if they've been dead.
You could probably smell them being picked, because if like a big chunk gets picked off, then you can probably smell a new whiff of horribleness.
Have you had experience in this?
Ain't that a nice car freshener?
But you do see that there is a small fire going, like a bonfire or burning fire of these bodies, essentially burning the bodies. Yes.
I would like to roll perception to see if they have black veins on them.
Okay.
I'll do that as well. 17.
They do not have black veins on
Good.
them.
Let's go with his roll.
Yeah, you don't see anything as you look. You don't see anything. You don't see anything as well.
Okay.
It just looks like they were slaughtered, left there for weeks.
You can laugh all you want, Hesken, but the last time we ran into bodies, I don't want to deal with it again.
And it looks like because it's cold in the north, especially with the recent arrival of more giants in the world, things up north have gotten a lot colder. So the bodies, while some of the bodies have decayed, most of them have been frozen over, or at least pretty much frozen cold.
Preserved.
Yeah, preserved. Thank you. And so they're burning the bodies because the ground's cold. It's rock hard. They don't have stuff to bury the dead.
There's people there.
There's a couple of people that are burning, yes, they're burning bodies.
Oh.
Friend or foe?
Go ahead and roll me a perception.
I'll roll a
You
perception
roll that
too.
one.
Well, they'll be foe for you, because you're the orc.
I'm so
That's
sorry.
fine. That's
A
fine.
little overzealous.
It's right down there on the other side of the
Oh,
chair.
this.
I rolled a 21.
21
What are we rolling? Perception?
perception.
It was a 12 for me.
12.
I'm so sorry.
17.
17.
9.
What? Because you rolled it
6.
cross
But then you-
pocket.
Yeah, I know.
So if you look on your front page, you can scroll down.
I was going to roll it on this, but it's covered in
There's
grease.
also
Yes.
and Mountain Dew.
Oh, thank you, coins.
Perception.
You can use this if you would like to.
No,
So
no, no,
10.
no, 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 no.
You are proficient in it.
You gonna give me your clear die too?
I'll give you my pink dice. Roll really good.
Pink
Actually.
die roll really
If you would
good.
like to.
13.
13. Okay. So all of you do notice that they look like, anyways, not look like, they are children, young children.
Okay.
There's a couple of them that look like they might be maybe 14, 16 years old.
Mhm.
The rest of them, there looks to be like maybe, there's probably, I would say, maybe like 5 younger children that are around the age of like 6.
How tender. Well, what do you guys want to do?
Balrog, you need to settle down.
So
a
they
little.
they look harmless. Obviously their eyes are really puffy and red from all the crying, and one of them looks pretty.
Okay, we'll let him live today.
As you guys walk by, one of them looks at you because you were part of this battle,
Oh, yeah, I was.
and they just look at you with anger seething from their eyes.
Do I speak to them?
If you would like to, you can.
If you want to find me, I'll be in the water. And that's it.
To 5-year-olds.
You are heartless.
Bring it on, kids.
He's chaotic.
I am the
evil.
Ruthless.
Basically, he's Goldie Roger.
Does the 15 hit you?
No, it doesn't.
Probably not. There's a thing called AC at the top. It should be called. It's
It
called
does.
armor class.
Well, if it's his
Yeah.
it's 15.
Okay, so it does. So he
It
picks
is
up a
good.
rock and he throws it at you, and he hits you
2 damage.
for 4 points of damage
Yay!
as it smacks you right in the head. Just
Spears do less.
Well, I guess I deserved it.
I don't know how to do it. Oh, okay, so damage.
and it's the 16-year-old that threw it. She says, "Yeah, it's
Sorry.
a 16-year-old." No, you're fine. It's a new player, so it's okay. I'm totally fine. We're a friendly group here. The 16-year-old, it's a girl, by the way. She hits you with the rock and she says, "Wait until I get a weapon in my hand. You're
I'm just
dead."
It hurt, but I'm gonna act like it didn't hurt.
Right? Okay. So go ahead and roll a
Deception.
Well, no performance because you're gonna play it off as if you aren't hurt.
Watch him roll a natural one.
3.
Yeah, your performance is only +1. So.
Yes.
He's got tears in his eyes.
It smacks you right in the forehead and blood's coming down and you're just like...
I'm only crying because it hit me in the face.
It hits you in your beautiful orcish face.
And your pride.
I mean, you're not crying, but you definitely are like, oh, that hurts. Type deal,
Okay.
So you kind of grab it and you're just, and there's blood dripping like she nailed you good.
She got spunked, girl.
So there's blood,
She
dripping.
stoned me.
I
got stoned.
You got stoned.
I like you. What's your name?
Give me a second. I'm gonna
You
look
attacked
up.
one of my party members.
You want to join my ship?
No, give me a second. I am going to look up a name.
You can totally invite her to your ship, but then you're gonna have to worry about her trying to kill you every night.
I like it. You will be my new bride.
Have you ever
Whoa,
seen Avengers? Thanos and Gamora?
Yeah.
This is how it goes.
Yeah.
Spoiler.
She
Gamora dies
says.
Do not listen.
She says her name. She says to you, "My name is Angie.
Angie. That is a great name, Angie.
Why are you traveling with this one?"
You know what? He's changed.
Recently turned a new leaf.
Yes, he is
Very
going-
recently.
Him and his kind slaughtered us, our people. I don't believe it.
I understand.
Look, I'm crying.
It'd probably be best if you just, shut
Roll
your
another
mouth,
performance
Balrog.
check.
Alright.
No,
And she's looking at you very angry as well. Like she's got, you can feel the anger coming off of her as she looks at you.
Young girl,
Any.
use that. You'll become a good warrior.
She'll turn to the dark side, you fool.
She doesn't say anything to you. She just looks at you. She looks at all of you with disdain, disgust.
Well, for me, I just don't care. I'm just staying out of this. So I'm just not really looking, paying attention. And
I can help you get the power in order to fight him if you so desire. Make a contract with me.
Oh no.
You're gonna do that to a 16-year-old girl?
Yeah, why not?
What does the contract entail?
No, don't do it.
Ooh.
Don't do it, Angie.
Do it.
Yeah.
Roll a persuasion.
This is one of those moments where the party is creating unnecessary plot. Like a subplot.
Like Jerry
19.
Springer.
Ooh, dang.
What's your argument? How are you
Don't
persuading
do it.
her?
Apparently it doesn't matter. She got it. So
Because
say no to drugs, kids.
that is... Because I'm guessing you want her to basically sell her soul. And you don't want to do that.
What does the contract entail?
Dang.
Have you ever heard of the legendary heroes?
I've heard tales of them.
One of the legendary heroes made a contract with me that if I give my soul when I die, I will be able to use his powers until that time. If you give your soul to Erebos, and you can make your own rules if you so desire, you will be able to obtain powers through through Erebos. Did I say Balthazar earlier too?
You almost
Dang it.
did.
Okay, Erebos.
Angie, don't sell
It's your choice. It will take practice, and you will have a very different life. But you will have a lot of power.
There are other ways to get power.
You signed a contract with a woman without even asking her name.
You know what? We're not talking about me. I did not sell my soul. That's different.
Aww. When you die, you don't really need a soul.
And how do I get in touch with this Erebos?
Do you make a contract?
I'm curious. How would I get in touch with him?
I'm putting out my hand. Just be ready. When you grab that hand, you will be able to hear him as well.
She reaches out and she's gonna grab your hand.
Okay.
Angie, no!
Erebos, I have someone for you.
You are learning very quickly, my young friend. As he kind of whispers.
Can she hear that as I'm holding her hand too?
She does hear the voice.
My hand is still outstretched. We're still clasped.
Yes.
So, do we have a deal?
I like this one. Perhaps we could train her. She could be one of my generals in the future if she proves worthy.
That would mean that she has to live that long.
I would just take her to the realm of the Nine Hells after she died.
Yes, that's very true.
She can still age until a certain point in which I choose to stop it.
So, young girl, Angie, do you make the contract?
Angie, no!
She says yes.
Excellent. What are your terms?
Are you talking to Erebos?
You.
To Angie. Sorry. She says
She has other children around her. I'm assuming she's not the
She
youngest.
she says, very simply, she says, 2 conditions. My family lives a life of luxury and never has to hunger again, and they are protected from the likes of him. And she nods at the orc.
Okay.
Big smile.
And she
There's
then,
blood trickling down your face still.
and she says, I want power to destroy my enemies. And he said,
Erebos?
Erebos says, the deal has been stricken. Or struck.
Yeah, that's fine.
And you can... stricken.
Stricken.
You've been stricken. No, he says the deal
bargain has been
the
made.
bargain has been made. Yes. The deal has been struck.
Or Pirates, we have an accord.
And you can see that she has a mark that appears on her forehead. And then it disappears. And then her eyes have this very faint red glow.
Welcome to the party, Angie.
Kalsifer!
Welcome to the Himalayas.
What? Do you want to join?
No!
He says...
Why would you do this? She's a young girl.
She'll be a young girl.
She doesn't
Yeah,
even
like,
like parents.
Yeah, well, I mean, she's not a young girl anymore, since her...
So you're
Parents
saying
have
that we should leave her as a young girl, all alone, with no way to take care of herself, with younger siblings,
Yeah, winter's coming.
with freezing temperature going around, as they burn their bodies of the loved ones? Or should we give her a way to be able to support herself?
But selling her soul?
I did it.
Yeah, but you're an idiot.
It's a matter of opinion.
Warmer.
We want to say that Karn does have an orphanage.
Just remember, Erebos was a previous hero.
5. I'm sorry. Yeah, so Erebos says, I have other plans for her.
That's fine.
She will go her own route.
As long as you fulfill your contract, she will be appreciated.
I am a devil of my word.
He is a hero. You know.
A man of my word.
I know you are.
And her name will be Joan of Arc.
No.
Uh,
But that actually does...
You really are a salesman.
Give me a second. He is actually going to rename her.
Does that mean
Say Joan.
So is she actually becoming a part of our party? Or is she
No, part of Erebos. That's what I'm
Oh, part of Erebos.
Yeah.
Okay.
Army,
I thought
yeah.
you were gonna be like taking kids now.
Well, you know, I did think about it, but I was like, then we'll have to defend them. I don't want to deal with that, so.
Yeah.
If I was able to, like, put them in the Rook and carry them around as a little rook piece while they're in there safely, I would have taken all the kids and kept them safe.
So
But
what do you want?
They're not animals.
I was thinking in my mind that if I
Can
can
we
throw
use
out the rook,
Pokeballs
they
on
can
them?
go into it and live into it.
Oh yeah.
The Pokeballs?
Oh, wait.
Oh my
Oh, wait,
god.
wait, do we get a...
The rook is like a person Pokeball.
No.
Yeah.
But
It's a little
Theo has
creatures.
said previously
I know.
that they can't stay in it, it will spit them out.
Correct.
It would be funny.
Speaking of
Yes.
which, we do get all of our bounce back in our Pokeballs, right?
Yes, they
Okay.
are there. For those of you that have those.
Just double check.
He said, Erebos says to her, as you release her hand, you can hear it, they can't. But he says to her, your new name shall be Senral, the
Senral.
Vengeance, or the Fury. And that's Senral. You do see that her clothes, the ones that are tattered, do change as it changes to essentially, like, it looks like she is now wearing like leather boots, leather pants, essentially leather, and the color scheme is black and red.
So she doesn't come with us, so how does she
Yes.
come with us?
She's not
She's
She's
not
not
gonna
coming
come
with you.
She's
just part of
Yeah,
me
yeah,
now.
She's just
You jumped into the story a little late, so
Okay.
there's a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
there.
there is a lot of stuff. You can follow us on Facebook to kind of read up on a lot of this
If
stuff.
you want to,
If you would
yeah.
like to.
He's already following the page.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and watch the video.
You
read all
do
the
hear
stuff.
as she just stands there, but you can hear her speaking in her mind as she says to Erebos, "What's my first task?" And he says,
She catches on quick, Erebos.
"She does indeed. Your first task is to go to the Vault of the Grim Reaper. I have a former general there. I wish to make sure he stays comfortable. You may take any weapons that are there to your liking."
Hold on.
Yeah,
Before you leave, take my double-sided scimitar. It can be your at least your starting weapon.
She grabs it, and it's heavy for her, and she gives it back to you. She says, "I don't need it. It's too heavy."
Would you like a dagger instead?
She kind of smiles, and you hear Erebos, "I've already given her some starting weapon."
Perfect.
And you can see that as she goes like this, like she kind of flicks her blades out, and two blades kind of top and bottom of each hand kind of sticks out.
Baraka.
Oh my gosh.
Well,
Yeah.
they're not in her skin, but it's like attached to her. So
Gotcha.
like the blades are hidden, but when she flicks it out, it's
She's Assassin's Creed.
sort of. But she flicks it out, and you can see that both the blades just kind of go both top and bottom out past her hands.
Wolverine's mama.
Does she have any... She does have siblings, right?
She does.
Like,
What
I was
about
asking,
you?
like, what are you going to do with your siblings? All these riskless kids.
Yes.
Erebos, are you able to alter this that I can keep the children safe in it?
Ooh, that's a good idea.
What is it?
A rook. The rook is able to turn into a palace of sorts that is full of rooms and other commodities.
Why don't you just give it to one of the children and let them attune to it?
I'd rather keep them safe.
I'm sorry, I don't have that type of power.
What if all of our Inepis, Erebos, and Randall all worked together? Would they be able to?
We tried.
Anepis does. You hear her. She says, "Why don't you just send them to the city of Karn?
We're the only one
Thank
that would
you,
hear that.
Inepis.
It's a day's walk away,
Okay. All right. Well, Inepis,
or at least half a day's walk, anyways."
Inepis suggests we send them to Karn, which I'm sure
Which is what I said earlier. Why don't we just... I said Karn has an orphanage.
is true. You did say
Send
that.
these poor children to an orphanage.
Karn has a good orphanage.
He is the king of Karn. I'm sure he can make sure they're looked
Go
after.
ahead and roll me perception. For those of you that would like to roll perception, for any player that would like to roll perception, go ahead and roll perception.
Okay.
You get advantage on the roll.
That's
Okay.
17.
There's 14.
14, 17,
8.
8. You don't see anything.
I'm rolling low because it's not my die.
And do I get initiative?
No, not on that one. Only on the +2, you get the... Or only on the ones that have the dots, you get the proficiency
Okay,
bonus.
so 14.
14.
I did not roll, but I can if you want me to.
You don't have to if you don't want to. You do not have to.
I'm good.
Okay. So,
She's like, I know the
Alicia
outcome.
and Horgarn do not see. But the three of you, Hesken, Kalsifer, and Balrog, thank you.
That's his name?
That is his name, Balrog. You do see that there is an older human, ponytail, has a monocle, and he's walking up with his hands behind his back.
A monocle?
Yep. And he has slight, if you look, for those of you that rolled and you rolled a 10 or higher, you do see that there are slight stubs sticking out of his head. Devil.
Do we know who this particular monocle-wearing man is?
If you would like to roll a history check to see if you can remember who he is, but...
Sounds like Lord Harrington.
Yeah, it sounds like Lord Harrington to me.
Can I roll a perception now? Because
Sure.
I have pretty good history.
Sure.
Smells fishy.
Well, you are close to the ocean.
Okay, well, my perception was 6.
Just your clothes.
Yeah, you've never seen this person before.
It's the
Can
dead
I
bodies.
roll history?
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
My history was a 10, so if that did anything.
Does not look like... It does not... You don't know this person.
Okay.
28.
You don't know this person.
28.
I love it. You roll a freaking 28 and you still don't know who he is.
Oh, wait. No.
No, you know, it looks like... he's wearing one monocle, but he's clean-shaven, doesn't have a mustache,
Monopoly Man?
and he has a ponytail. And he says, I will take the children back to the city of Khan safely.
No.
Do I know anything about this? Is he connected with Erebos?
You get the feeling he is connected to Erebos.
Okay.
The master has sent me to take care of these children.
Who's the master?
You can trust him.
Who's the master?
He smiles, lets out more of a kind of grimace smirk. He says, would you like to make a deal?
No. Just tell me who
Hey,
the master
whoa,
is.
I already asked her that. You can't be stealing souls from me.
We serve the same master, do we not?
Yes, but I earn bonus points.
So you serve Erebos.
Bonus commission.
You really are a salesman.
So you serve Erebos?
I do.
And we're just supposed to just trust you, you come out of nowhere, we're supposed to just give you all these children and trust that you're gonna keep them safe when we don't know anything
My
about
master has a mansion prepared for them.
Devils don't normally make it a habit of eating children, so...
Well,
Yeah,
some
probably.
do.
They'll probably turn them all into generals.
it.
Why do we
Probably.
care about
Can you
this
ask
guy?
Erebos about this guy?
Erebos, do you know this guy?
I do.
Did you send him?
Yes.
Okay.
This is my butler.
Oh, perfect. Let me ask, is his name Theodore?
His name is Ted.
Ha ha! Just as good. I already knew I liked this guy.
Oh, Teddy.
Ted the butler.
And
Can I?
yes.
One last thing. Children, would you like to join your sister?
She looks at you and she glares at you and she says, they won't make that decision until they are older.
Fair enough.
Can I roll what is it, insight to see if he's like a good guy, if we can trust him?
If you,
Is that
insight would be more like if he's
Okay.
lying to you.
What would I roll to see? Nothing.
Well, you can insight check him to see if he's lying. To see if he's gonna take him
I'm gonna roll
somewhere else.
Erebos is always a man of his word.
dirty 20.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20.
Nice. He seems to be telling the truth.
Okay, fine.
Erebos honors his contracts.
It makes me nervous to just send a whole bunch of kids with some random guy.
Do you have kids?
No.
The butler, named Ted, Ted the butler, he snaps his finger and a black carriage comes out just out of nowhere, just kind of appears as two horses. They're black horses, red eyes, red fiery eyes.
Erebos, you've been holding out on me.
This is my personal carriage.
Okay.
And the butler opens and he says, "Now, young masters, please enter into the carriage. I will take care of you."
You're in for a treat, kids.
They look to this. They look to the sister, Angie. Well, Senral now, and she gives a nod, and they do go into the carriage, and the butler goes into it as well, and the carriage just takes off with the horses pulling the carriage towards the city of Karn.
They will be safe, Sen.
Yes, she says. Senral says to you, "I know they will."
I swear, Theo, if you kill these kids, I'll never forgive you.
The kids will be fine.
Oh.
Yeah, they're going to Disney.
Man, if you were there when if you were there when we did the other one shot, just can't think.
Yeah. But Senral, she bows. She gives a slight bow to you, or not bow, but a head nod to you, and she says, "Perhaps I'll see you another time."
Enjoy your work.
And she heads off towards the, she's basically walking towards the road, on the road.
She doesn't need the map because
Right.
Erebos would know.
Right,
where it's at.
and Erebos is basically
Guiding
taking her to the Elvish area, to the Elflands,
Okay.
close to that area in the mountains. And that is with Senral. So that whole thing takes place with you guys. The weather begins to pick up a bit more intensely as the snow and it seems like a blizzard storm is starting to come in. You do know that you guys should probably take off soon before the boats get frozen in the water.
Yeah. So, enough of the linger longer. Let's get on the way.
I didn't even get any food.
Not my problem.
So you guys get on the boat. You own the boat, correct? Or is it
My boat.
It's your boat. Okay, so you are the captain. The crew says, "Ahoy, lads! The captain is here."
That's kind of weird to see. Orcish
Captain,
sailors.
we're all ready.
Let's get on the seas.
They kind of look at these guys, at your guest. Are we gonna?
Eat them? No. They're friends.
You wouldn't want to eat your war chief now, would you?
This guy?
You can have a bite. No, I'm just kidding.
He looks
No, we're not going to eat him.
puny. Are you sure he's the war chief?
Yeah, he's the war chief.
No. Well. Aye, war chief. Hello, sir.
Horgarn of Breeze, the lineage breaker.
Yes.
Broke the last war chief's
Yes.
lineage, if you guess what I mean.
My name is Bill the Orc. I'm a sailor. underneath Captain Balrog.
As long as it's not Bob the Builder, you're set.
No. Bob the Builder is one of our construction workers in our camp. We are gonna stop with you guys for right now. I'm gonna go with Pilar.
Okay.
When they left to the Orcish camp, you had this nagging feeling that you needed to head back to the Elvish kingdoms, more specifically in the mountain. Eventually, you find yourself pretty much solo in the mountains, and you find yourself in front of what looks to be an abandoned fortress. There are two statues that look pretty crumbly, pretty old at this point. It looks like it hasn't been taken care of in quite some time.
I've been here before.
And yes, you get the feeling you've been there before. Go ahead and roll me a survival check. I have dice if you need dice.
Can I borrow some dice?
You can.
They're too pretty.
Purple's been rolling, or pink's been rolling pretty good.
These ones, these are beautiful.
Okay. 9. It's a survival check. 12. So you do see that there is this very familiar. It's very recent. Not familiar. It's very recent footsteps heading off to the side, off to the left-hand side of the main path.
Oh, I've been to this path before.
You have. And as you walk up, you do see that there is the entrance is open. It's crumbled. It's already open, but you can see when you look down on this door, or what used to be a door, there was inscription writing on it. It's all broken up. I'm assuming you're going to make your way in.
Mm-hmm.
As you make your way in, you see, at this point, it's a very broken down, shattered, what used to be a mural of Balthazar, correct? Of the past. Or at least, assuming
But you
it's
still don't
Balthazar.
remember.
Correct, your memory was wiped out. That's right. So,
Right.
So-
I can't remember anything.
you get the feeling as if you've been there before and you're trying to remember.
Mhm.
You don't really, you remember bits and pieces like flashbacks, which is why, you've seen this area before. You do see an altar that is sitting there, and the altar basically reads to sacrifice something of importance. And what would you like to do? You can roll a history check to see if you
Remember what
see if
to
you
do.
can remember what to do, if you would like.
Ah,
No, don't use that. It's cursed.
It is cursed.
DC's cursed. That is cursed.
11.
11, just enough. You do remember that as you get this flashback memory, you do see, or at least you remember seeing a short, fat dwarf as he cuts part of a slit of his hand, and as the blood goes on.
I'll do the same.
Okay, and as you do that, 1 point of damage as you nick yourself.
Paper cut.
Yeah. And as you do so, you press down onto the altar and you disappear and you reappear into another room. You can see that in this room, it looks like there's a chessboard. However, it looks to be like the pieces are broken, basically. Like pieces are broken, scattered. And you can see on the other end that there is this door that does appear.
Go to the door.
Okay, as you hobble your way over to the door and you make your way through the door, you do see that there is essentially a treasure room. As you make your way into the treasure room, go ahead and roll me a perception.
7.
7. Okay, so it's a bit low. But you do see that there's no gold. There are some weapons left here and there, a little bit kind of further away, but in the center there's this pedestal that looks like it might have been housing something or someone maybe, and it looks empty. There's nothing there. You do see, however, hidden a little bit, not hidden I guess, but off to a little further down where there looks to be another door, there appears to be a person in a butler's outfit slouching against the door.
I rush to his aid.
Okay, as you make your way over to him, to him, it looks like a male. You can see that there is this giant gaping hole, and it looks like there's wires and pieces sticking out of it.
Automaton.
And it does kind of briefly spark up, the eyes briefly light up, and it says, as it's trying to turn on and power up, and it says, error, and then it says, Zephyr, gone, must warn, and it shuts off.
Had I heard of Zephyr from the prior battles?
Go ahead and roll me a history check.
8. I can't roll anything higher than a 10.
I told you not to use that thing. It's cursed.
it probably is cursed. The name Zephyr doesn't ring a bell, unfortunately. But you do see that there is something interesting. It looks like there are portals. At least there are names. There's one portal in particular. Let me rephrase that. There are 2 portals in particular that are open. One that it looks like it's in Elvish. Probably leads to the Elf Kingdom, is what you're probably guessing. And then there's another one that's written in a different language. And it looks like on the other side of this portal, it looks to be a very desert, hot terrain, very rough-looking terrain, in which you can go through that as well. So there's 2 portals you can choose to go through, if you would like. The one with the deserty terrain, it says in Celestial, and you do speak Celestial, it says the Badlands.
Do you want me to get back to the group? Is that the end goal?
That is the end goal.
I don't want to go on a side quest.
Right, that is the end goal. Now, you could either way you're going to get there eventually. It just depends on which route you want to go.
Actually, one of them has my knife, and I can transport myself.
Oh, who has the knife?
I gave it to. I don't remember. I didn't give it to someone specific, but we can.
Okay,
If it needs to be, we can.
It's in my backpack. I didn't notice it.
there you go.
I'll just stab it in your back next time.
So you can do that.
I'll hear
as
you
well.
hobble over.
You won't hear me coming through the teleportation.
So you can. I
It
forgot.
could be in the carriage that he was riding in too.
Yeah, but
that's
that'll
right.
get
the
him to
wagon.
Karn.
Okay. Going forward, let's say Jake's got it.
Okay.
I don't know which character. I don't remember.
Hesken.
Hesken's got it.
So Hesken, you do see that this dagger starts to shake and rumble,
Shake on my belt.
and it looks like it's starting to glow.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to come out doing a somersault.
I pull it out of my belt
Does it usually
to
do
see it
that?
in my hand.
Yeah.
It's like, what's going on?
So as you're holding it, you can see. I need you to roll me a strength check with disadvantage. Because this is going to catch you off guard here, unfortunately.
Oh no!
Disadvantage?
Yeah.
Why is this dagger shaking?
Dang, this thing is cursed.
It doesn't
I
matter.
told you.
Lower than a 5.
Strength?
Yeah.
Would it be a saving throw?
It's not necessarily a saving throw, it's just a strength check.
Okay. Got a 6.
Yeah, so all of a sudden the dagger disappears and this fat dwarf appears in your hand and you both fall over as it catches you off guard. And you fall flat. Your face just kind of falls right in between his legs. And you're just sitting in his hand.
Why are you trying to hold me like this?
Don't try to lie. You liked it, Balrog.
I didn't complain. Just
And
asking why.
all of a sudden on the jeez. On the ship, you find yourself on a ship surrounded by orcs and your party members previously.
Oi.
More!
I've
The dagger is gone because it's in the vault now.
I get to use it once a day.
But you switched places.
But you switch places with it.
You do.
Oh dear.
Yeah. So the dagger's in the vault.
Okay.
At least
Which
you
is
don't-
why I threw the portal option out there.
Got it.
But Pilar is with you guys.
Hesken's like.
I say you just like it down there.
Whoa.
I stand up very quickly. And of course, me respecting my elders, I help him up.
Yeah.
Especially with the
Without making eye contact.
Pilar, you're suddenly here. Well, it's good to see you again. Have you escaped from Khazar's clutches?
Yes, I escaped the lair.
You were never with Kate.
Oh, I was never with Khazar. I was exploring.
Okay. We just assumed.
Well, you know what happens when you assume.
Well, I mean, you and Khazar said a lot of weird things.
So you guys are sailing on the sea, and the current, by the way, is going really fast. So you guys are moving pretty fast. There are some waves here and there that seem to be kind of going about. Yes.
Can I roll a perception to see if I can see any of these storm giants?
Sure.
Okay.
Because I remember you said they were visible from naked eye from the
Correct.
From
They
the shore.
were they were about 200
So like we could.
200 yards off into the ocean.
So it's obvious.
I'm rolling perception.
Yeah.
So 15.
15. You right now, off in the distance, kind of where you guys are eventually going, or at least kind of towards that area.
I thought we were already on the sea.
You are on the sea. You guys are on the sea, and you're moving in this ship, and it's going really fast.
Okay.
Many of the sailors are, going about, and they're working double time. Obviously, you're probably most likely at the steering wheel, the helm of the ship.
With a pirate's hat and a tennis.
With the pirate's hat. Arr. And you can see that there are several clouds, off in the distance. You can see one has a hammer, and as it looks like it's striking down, the other one there's another one that has an axe as it's striking into something. There's one that has a sword, and it looks like off in the distance they're doing something where they're swinging and...
Oh.
Captain!
Cool movie.
I was just about to say, I didn't realize Thor and his past and present are there.
Oh, yes.
Captain, up ahead. About 300 yards in closing. Something's amiss out there.
What is it?
We don't know, sir, but it looks to be giant men.
Giant men? Giants?
I guess. I've never seen a giant, sir. They just look like giant men.
In the middle of the ocean?
Yes, sir.
Are we close to him?
I don't know. Where are you guys on the ship?
Are they...
I will actually draw the ship out for you guys
Awesome.
right now.
That means there's a battle soon.
Awesome. That means-
Look at him! He's grinning!
Are they friends of yours?
Actually, we wanted to stop and talk to them. Those are storm giants.
Yeah, just so keep you in the loop, we've been told that a giant Colosseum has fell out of the sky
Near the city of
Yeah.
Aiden, Aurora.
Yeah. near the city of Aiden, Aurora, and I guess it's a giant Colosseum full of giants, and all the giants escaped, and
Or
these
just
are the storm
left.
giants, and we just want to go talk to them and see what's up, what they're doing out here, and see if we get them on their side.
Okay. And then I respond.
If you would like to, yeah.
Alright. Well, if that's part of your mission, let's go.
Are you sure, Captain? It looks like they're doing something dangerous over there.
Don't question the captain.
Aye, aye, Captain.
Oh, power.
You heard it, men. Go ahead. They respect you.
So we go towards the giants.
Yep. Give me a second.
Don't tell me you eat your men if they don't listen to you, Captain.
Sometimes.
Just a light snack.
Next night, disobey me again, I'll eat the other foot.
Somebody already took a bite.
Oh my god.
Nibbles.
We call them nibbles.
We're gonna get copyright struck. You better be careful.
With my own voice, copyright struck for that. You fools! Fly, you fools! To the giants!
And there is a giant. There's a mast here that goes up 10 feet.
So is this on my ship?
Yep, this is your ship.
Oh yeah, I'm at the front.
Does the ship have a name?
Barco.
So you have.
I couldn't think of anything genius.